Jim, I got a quote for you. This has been
Okay.
on my mind since you've been talking. In the beginning of the program, you talked about David's army,
Yes.
and you've been talking about how God's restored, and the critics and the naysayers and all the people that did harm against you, but how God is restoring and the victories that you're getting. And I was thinking about David's army. Okay, David's army, they had bruises and cuts, and their uniforms were smeared with dirt and grit and mud and blood.
Yes.
But they had one more thing. They had victories.
Yeah.
You can't have victories without mud and blood and scrapes
Oh.
and cuts. You
Oh.
can't. You
Oh.
That's a
can't.
good word.
It's impossible.
Oh,
It is
man.
absolutely impossible.
No victory without a battle? Is that
No
what you're
victory
saying?
without a battle. So when people talk to me,
That's not nice.
when
Preachers are telling people they just can give a few dollars and get a lot of money.
yeah, when I hear people, who come to me and they tell me all the bad things about some preacher or anybody, a businessman, a businesswoman, anybody.
Right.
Did you know that this happened to him? Did you? Okay, but you're not doing anything. He or she was doing something. And
yeah.
this is the quote I want you to hear.
Yes.
This is Theodore Roosevelt, and my favorite president. Okay, and he was a doer.
He was.
He was a doer, and I was in Boquete, Panama, which is up in the mountains near Costa Rica, and I saw a plaque that said Theodore Roosevelt was here. All right, when the Panama Canal was built, which he built, all right, as president, he hiked from the city of David to Boquete, which was, I'm guessing, a 50-mile hike up the mountains. That's the kind of president we had. This is what he said in 1910. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat.
Wow, that is
Whoa.
excellent.
That's an awesome
excellent
statement.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know he wrote that.
That was a speech he gave April 23rd, 1910.
I'm telling you, these were great men
That's
of
right.
God. Maybe not of God, but I
No,
don't
he
know
was.
that.
And I'll tell you.
I shouldn't have said
I'll
that.
tell you,
but
no, he was a great man of God.
But he was a
He was.
doer.
He was
Well, we've misjudged a lot of our past leaders because
right.
we were sort of narrow-minded, like Truman. I mean, my family I always heard him saying, Truman used salty language. I've said this before, but and so, yeah, Truman, I feel like using some salty language running around some of the Christian people. And
Hey, we're in Harry Truman State. This is a state of Missouri.
Hey, here it
that's
is,
right.
the show me
Prove
state.
me, show me state, whatever, But Truman is the man without, we probably wouldn't have Jerusalem and Israel today, or at least the state of Israel.
That's
He's
right.
the man who stuck his neck out into the arena
That's right.
and said, I am going to stand for Israel. No one was with him. Do you know the board of advisors, or whatever you call the men around the president,
The cabinet.
the cabinet, not one, I don't think, was with him.